The Abbey at Sutton Courtenay is an ideal project for ESOCs in that it is quite a complex project in that it involves a range of different aspects that need to be implemented.
The Abbey itself, the listed building, is absolutely beautiful. A tricky project because it's so old and so many leaky parts to it, but very beautiful.
Energy Solutions Oxfordshire is a relatively new organisation. The main role is to support small and medium enterprises in the first phase with reducing their energy usage within their buildings so that we can reduce their carbon footprint.
We worked with the Abbey at Sutton Courtenay. It's an historic site, Grade 1 listed, that's used as a spiritual wellness centre. They also have in the grounds a converted stable. We started at the Abbey with the residential block because it was the easiest to address, but then we moved on to the Abbey building itself. That took a little bit longer to sort out, but we were able to help them there as well.
We do like to get the more complex projects because the customer therefore sees the value that we can add from managing it from beginning to end and finding the right contractors for them to do the work. So to some extent, the more complex the project is ideal for something like ESOCs.
Very quickly identified that they had no loft insulation in that area, which is a no-brainer really to put loft insulation in. And they also had people on site, volunteers, that could do that for them, so that was great. We looked at the heating. They had night storage heaters there. It just wasn't fit for purpose. So they were taken out and a more efficient electric heating system was put in. The windows were quite drafty and single glazed, and the cost of retrofitting into double glazing was going to take a very long time to pay back financially for them. So we recommended putting blinds in, proper insulated blinds that really did help with the insulation. We also looked at lighting in that residential area because they hadn't changed the lighting to LED. Also went on to the Abbey and looked at the Abbey for them as well, the Grade 1 listed building. And we identified a very, very old boiler, for instance, and the options for how to insulate their windows, which is always a bit of a challenge in listed buildings, but there are things that can be done for that as well.
81% of emissions within Oxford come from the buildings themselves. And if we're going to make a major impact on carbon footprint within Oxfordshire, then we do need to reduce the energy use within those buildings, whether it's something like the Abbey through to more modern buildings that people have been building, which may be 10, 15 years old, but there's still a lot of work that can be done on those to make them more energy efficient.
There are many, many things we can do to improve buildings that will cut down their energy use, therefore cutting down the carbon impact of the buildings. Several of the businesses that we have dealt with in the past have said we'd love to do more. We can put a little bit of money into this from our own finances, but we'd love to do many more things for our buildings, and we can see that there's energy saving. We just can't afford it.
There are very few companies in the marketplace that offer the one-stop shop services capability, the expertise, the resource, the access to the contractors, plus the ability to help finance it. If you can get the SME to look at the opportunity as a revenue generation, that then helps them with the financing side, which then helps cover the cost of any financing they need over 3 or 5 years to implement the project.
When we're working with SMEs, we would focus primarily on financial savings because that's a very big driver for SMEs. At the heart of what EIE do is looking at carbon reduction, and that's what really drives us.
For any SME or organisation within Oxfordshire that wants even just discussion about what they could potentially do for energy efficiency within their buildings, then please just do get in touch. It's an easy process to go through. There's no cost in the initial phases to the SME for doing anything.
We're very keen to work with businesses that are ready to take steps to move forward on energy efficiency. And there's lots of them out there, and people are really keen now to do carbon reduction. So they're the people we want to know about.